All right, so for today's workout, you will need some equipment, either a kettlebell if you have one, or 2 dumbbells, 1 dumbbell, something for resistance in that aspect. If you do not, I will give you an option for that movement. We will start with more of a core, we'll get into a little bit of strength, and then we'll finish with some more core and conditioning. So a good kind of balance of everything today. So we are going to start with that little core. We're going to work 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. 2 movements. 2 movements are a glute bridge march. So we're going to bridge up the hips. Make sure when you set that up, back is flat to start, ribs are down, pushing through the feet, feel your butt. And then we're going to alternate lifting the heels up as we keep both hips as even as possible. So we got that, and then we're going to sit up into a seated position for Russian twist. So lean back slightly. So when you lean back, think about leaning back from that hip joint. That's your pivot point, and we're not leaning back through the low back. So staying long, and then we're rotating the upper body side to side, reaching for the outside of the hip. You can lift the feet. Again, make sure you're trying to keep that lower half stable. And if you wanted to take a small kettlebell or weight around with you, you could. So those are the first 2 things. Again, short work, short rest, and we're gonna get it going here. So starting in that bridge, push up, lift up, and go. So marching those feet. Again, think about holding through the hips, glutes, hamstrings. Try not to shift as you lift one leg up. Warming up the backside. Okay, come to a seated, and then we're going to go into that Russian twist. So again, lean back from that hip, long spine. We're going side to side. You're not touching the knuckles to each side. You can even start to just lift, say, one leg up. So I like to have some of that stability through the lower and really focus on tension and twisting. You can, again, lift if you can keep that tension through the middle. Okay, back to the bridge. That's 1 set. We got 4 total. Lift up and start to march. Again, pushing down through the ground. Effort coming through that lower body. Try not to over lift through the low back. All right, back to the seated. So dig those heels in. There's that hair. Tickle on the back. And kind of blow out from the belly. That's what's going to pull those abs in and together. Toes up to the ceiling. Okay, halfway. 2 more. And then we'll get into the lifting section. Lift, hold there, and march. But this is the time to focus on breath, focus on control, and be aware of the body, what's working. Okay, seated. Again, toes up. And create that tension here. We don't want it pushing out. Blow out the air, pull in. Good, guys. A couple more seconds. Okay, last set. One more time. Lift. Start to march right here. It doesn't have to be a huge lift, just enough to lift off. Cause that other side to hold. Awesome. Last set of twists. Again, it does help kind of pull those toes facing the ceiling. That's gonna lock in what we want locked in. Again, you can start to lift one leg. You can go both if you can hold. Few seconds. Oh, they're saved. Awesome. So we should be ready now for that strength section. So we'll increase our work time. We're going to work for 40 seconds, rest for 10, and we will have 3 movements. So this is where we will need our pieces of equipment for resistance. So we're going to start with a goblet squat. So you could use kettlebell. You could also use a dumbbell in that goblet position, or if you only have bands, you can go band at the shoulders here for your squats. So we're gonna do the squats first, 40 seconds of work, so you can go moderate to heavy here. And then we're gonna go into a bent over row. So we'll do one side at a time. So in that split stance position, and then rowing from the ground. Again, either kettlebell or dumbbell. If you have a band, if you don't have anything to anchor it on the ground, you can kind of set it up off that front leg, get it to where that's tight at the bottom and then tighter at the top. So you don't want it too loose here. So find where you need to kind of tighten it, and then you can still row one side. So we'll have that one side, and then we'll finish the last movement, a close grip press. So we'll take it to the ground. I'm gonna use the kettlebell. Again, if you have a moderate weight kettlebell, you can grab it each side, and we're going to close grip press. Those elbows drop down, and then you push right up. So the weight's gonna hit more at the last rib, and elbows come close, versus when you come out to the side on a press. Now, if you only have dumbbells, you can do 2 lighter dumbbells, where you're neutral here pressing, or you could grab end to end of a dumbbell and press. Okay, so that's gonna be our 3rd movement. If you have nothing, since you can't do that with a band, you could flip over and do a push-up variation that works for you. So knees, toes, something along those lines. So 3 moves: squat, row, and the press. Here we go. Helps if I redo our time here. So again, 40 seconds of work, still only that 10 seconds to switch and rest, and we are going 4 times through. All right, guys, starting with that squat, grab up what you're gonna use. There we go. So as you squat, and think about feet gripping the ground, that weight becomes a part of you. So tuck it right to the chest, hips going down towards heels, toes towards me, or maybe slightly adjusted outwards, depending on how it feels for you. Breathe in as we go through. Exhale on the way up. Should be almost there. Okay, going into that row. So decide which side you're going to do first. Make sure you remember which side. And again, split that leg back. That becomes a kickstand, leaning into this front leg, and then pulling from the ground. So if you struggle in this position and you're close to something like a couch or chair that you can lean into and it's not too far over, you could use that. But usually that back leg there gives you a little support. Think about being long through the spine. Shoulder blade moving on the back as you row. Five seconds. All right, going to the close grip, so on our backs. So remember, you can do a dumbbell end to end, 2 dumbbells, or the kettlebell. So start it right above the chest, elbows come close, drop towards the ground, press right up overhead from there. Drop close, press up. Kind of think about reaching for that ceiling at the top, getting way into that chest, shoulder. And again, if you have nothing, your option for that push-up. Keep reaching at the top, full range. Okay, back to the start, so back to the squat. So that was 1 round, you got 3 to go. Kettlebell, dumbbell, or that band at the shoulders. So remember, if you don't have the option of getting heavier with your weight at home, add some tempo. So go slower on the way down, slower on the way up. Those are ways that you can add without changing the weight. And pushing that ground away at the top. We got 4 seconds. Okay, we're rowing with that other arm. So the opposite side you did, again, whichever arm's working, that's the leg that's gonna go back. Again, leaning in that front leg, or leaning into the front hip to support. Again, get a little reach, let that shoulder blade come back, extend back out. Coming up on the last 10 seconds here. Keep shoulders even, parallel to the ground. You don't want to reach and rotate. Okay, on the ground for the press or push-ups. So elbows drop. So those arms are gonna come super close to the body. Kind of like you're smushing yourself. Should have knuckles up. So if you have the 2 dumbbells, still the same thing. Palms are facing in, elbows drop by your side, knuckles to ceiling. Palms stay facing in. Okay, we're back up. 3rd round of squats. Load it up. Grip those feet. Take it down. Again, think about the hips dropping towards the heels. Making room to lower down, looking forward. If you're having a hard time with depth, make sure you are taking the time to warm up before, getting things opened up, getting things ready. Breathe. Okay, back to that first arm for the row. Split back. And leaning more into that front side. You do want to watch, so hips are forward, shoulders are forward. This back leg, I see a lot of people will turn out. We're gonna make sure we're facing forward with that back leg. So if for some reason this is too much in that front leg for you, you could go just a normal stance in a hinge. Eight seconds, guys. Keep squeezing through that upper back. Controlled movement. Okay, back to the floor. So you always want to make sure all these reps we're controlling. We're not just falling down, coming back up on that row, placing it back down at the bottom, not just letting it fall back down. That reach at the top. This again, depending on your weight, you can go slower, exaggerated on the way down, burst up, or go slower on the way up as well.
Always finding a way to challenge yourself. Don't just go through the movement.
Oh, all right, one more set before we switch gears. So last strength set here. Grab it, take it down, drive up out. Good. As we go down, make sure those ribs are staying right on top of the hips. So as they go down, we don't want to arch or look too far up. Just a couple more. Okay, last side for our row. So get it set in the position that you feel comfortable in. Actually feel good when I bring my leg in just a little bit. And again, think about right back here. Shoulder blade coming towards the center of the body. Controlling back down, placing it back to the bottom. Good, breathing as we go through. You got just a little longer. Awesome. All right, last time down here. This will be the last time we get to lay down. Well, no, I lied. We are going to have a movement that we start this way, but it won't be this easy to just lay. Good. Reach at the top. So if you think about kind of as you press, laying those shoulder blades, kind of finish by reaching up as well, off the ground. Good, remember this is our last set of this strength portion. Awesome. Okay, so we can get rid of our pieces of resistance. Sounds like a culinary thing, right? Like piece de la resistance. So we're gonna keep the same structures we just did with our strength section. So grab a swig of water if you need. Same structure, it's gonna be all body weight movements, focusing on core and getting the heart rate up now to finish it off. So we're gonna go mountain climbers for the first thing. So push up position, knee comes underneath. You do not tap your toe. You can go slow, controlled, really tuck under if you want more of a core. And then you can add a little bit of cardio by speeding that up. Still getting the core by stabilizing through that middle and we're not bouncing around. Second movement, we're gonna go a alternating toe touch sit up. So laying back, we're gonna alternate as we come up, reach for one toe, back down. You do wanna be able to get up on your tush, okay? So that would be the goal there. If you cannot get up to that seated position on your bum, then go a leg lower instead. So feet press up, and then we're dropping one leg at a time, bringing it back up. So we're still incorporating top to bottom abs here, focusing on that. Again, if you're having trouble getting up on the bum. And then the last thing we're gonna do is a lateral high knee. So if you think like a high knee running in place, and then we're just gonna take that side to side. So just make sure we're picking up the feet and we're just moving laterally through that. Okay, so this should be fun. So remember, first thing on our list is the mountain climber. And let me go here. So push up position. Chest right on top of the hands. If you have a hard time getting here and you feel like all you do is have to push back, either A, work on holding there, don't worry about the legs, or bring the hands up and onto something that you can elevate yourself, and usually that allows you to bring that chest over the hands. Here we go, guys, mountain climbers. In 3, 2, go. chest remains over those hands the whole time, driving the knees under, create tension through that core. Breathe. Let that heart rate go up. Let it get a little tough. Should be almost there. Oh, look at that. All right, flip over on your back. Coming all the way up into that toe touch. So you can go arms straight here, come up. Always start to try and get the upper body up just a hair before the lower, and that helps you get to that seated position. Again, option is that leg lower. So keep going with that V-ups if you're doing good. Here is the other option. Back stays flat, lowering one leg up at a time. Full breath. Okay, high knees. We're up. Make sure you don't have anything in your way that you can trip over. And high knees, just like you're running in place, and then start to go side to side. Side to side. Like a weird cartoon. Good, so still pulling those knees up towards the belly button. Arms are going. We don't run like this. That would be like, was that Lord of the Dance? Keep going, keep going. Okay, that's one. We got 3 more. So back to the mountain climber. Deep breath here. Okay, knee comes underneath. Again, you could go slow, catch your breath, really focus on core, tucking that knee under, kind of pulling, or you can add that speed. Lock it in. Keep going. Don't let those hips creep up. Keep them down. Okay, sit-ups or those toe touches. Not really a sit-up. Starting flat, all the way up, controlled, reach back down. So again, stay in control. Try not to create too much momentum or just kind of swinging up. I want to control that up to the top, back down. All the way. Okay, high knees. So gear up to run. Whoa. All right, let's run, guys. Sorry, my mouth just got super dry. I wasn't gonna be able to talk. Here we go. Always have your water ready. Note to self. Good, arms pumping and knees lifting. This is where we make it happen. Heart rate goes up. We're using the muscles. Now we got the cardio system going. Keep running. Make sure those feet don't cross. Woo! Okay, halfway through. We have 2 more. Let's do this together. Set it up. Knee comes under. Pushing that ground away. What I mean by that is the upper back should kind of reach. So we get expansion in the back. We're not hanging on the shoulder blades there. Just kind of push it away. Keep it up. Okay, flip over. Whew. Oh, I hope this core part's challenging you a little bit. It's challenging me. This right here, after those mountain climbers. Ooh. And those twists. Oh, we hit it today. And on the way up, when you blow out from here. So exhale. So when we blow out, those abs tighten around that middle, and that's what creates that corset through our core. Oh, awesome. All right, we're running up. So if you do struggle with some knee issues, that side to side is going to compromise a little bit. You can just stay with a standard run in place or a nice high knee. Otherwise, you're taking it and you're moving. Almost think about like you got those tires. You have to go in and out of those tires. There you go. Make sure you're picking up your feet. You don't want to trip. Remember, we only have one round left. And then that's it. So you gotta push here. Push, push, push. Woo! All right, guys, last time. Let's get down, let's get after it. Set it up. You'll be able to watch, tell you what we got left here. Driving those knees under. Hopefully you get that second wind, knowing you're on that home stretch. "20 seconds. "10 left. We got 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, lay back. Let's go, let's keep that same intensity right to the end. Coming up. Again, reminder, if that's getting too much, go here. We can still create a lot of tension, control. As we lower down, don't let that back lift up. Okay, so even if you started at the other one, and just we fatigue, it happens. You want to keep working. Switch it up. Only in competition with ourselves. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. Doesn't matter what maybe your partner's doing. Woo! Look at that. All right, let's run. Here we go, last run. Get them up, in and out of those tires. Arms moving. Home stretch. Up, up, up. Keep it up. Lifting those knees in front. Breathe. Let's get there. There. Awesome. Nice job. Breathe it out. If you want, you can always stretch. And I like to kind of come down, take a few breaths, in and out. Boy, it's hard to relax with that. And then once you feel that heart rate come back, that's when you're free to head out. So thank you guys.